Hey, this is Life with Sean Renee here, back with another video. Like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to hit the notification bell every time I upload. This is part 2 of starting life over at 28 years old. Let's watch the video.
Okay, you guys can make fun of me for replying to my own comment, but I couldn't find the comment where I said I would make a part 2, so this is part 2. A couple of things that I want to address super quickly at the start of this is all of the comments saying that I dodged a bullet and that he did me a favor, and I actually agree with that. Our relationship had issues. I'm never going to claim to have been perfect in that relationship. I obviously made my mistakes too. I also could be at fault for things. The relationship wasn't perfect, and there's no saying that I ever could have been perfect in that relationship. So I do want to just call that out because I think it's super important to acknowledge that obviously there were other issues here, and I do feel like I dodged a bullet. I do feel like he did me a favor. I feel like I got my life back. And something else that keeps getting brought up is, why I didn't leave. And this was not a case where our relationship was so miserable and we were fighting all the time and everything was bad and everything was terrible and I was just this miserable person. On the surface, that relationship probably looked very healthy to everybody else. And in its moments, maybe it was, right? Like, we didn't have big blowout fights. We weren't people who screamed and yelled at each other. We weren't people who had these big moments in front of everybody or even in private, really. Generally, there was a very quietness to the issues we were having, and I did beg for counseling over and over again. I begged to go to premarital counseling. I begged to see a counselor to deal with some of the things that we couldn't seem to get past on our own. And he would assure me over and over and over again that he would do these things and then just blatantly wouldn't do them, wouldn't go to counseling, wouldn't find a counselor, wouldn't work with me to find a counselor. So I fought for this relationship so hard for so long. And when people ask why I didn't just leave, it's not that easy when you're tied into somebody financially, like owning a house together. It's not that easy when you're tied into each other's families. It's not an easy thing to do, to let go of your life. And so there's also a lot of comments saying like, he did what you couldn't do. You know what? Yeah, he did. He did do what I couldn't do because I wasn't willing to give up on a life that I had built with him. I had built this life with him. I invested my money and my time and my youth into it. So yeah, I was invested in this. And thank God that he had the guts to do it because you know what? Yeah, I didn't have the guts to do it. Do I wish that he had done it more than 5 days before though? Yes. So some timeline clarity also. We were together for 4 years. We were engaged for 2 of those 4 years. He had 2 years to decide leading up to this wedding as we're making payments and booking vendors and doing all of these things that he didn't want to marry me. And it would have been less hurtful and less shock and awe and less chaotic if he had done it more than 5 days before. And I probably wouldn't be feeling the way that I ended up feeling if it had been sooner than that. I think he knew long before he actually decided to pull the plug on it, and he just couldn't do it. And again, I couldn't do it either because we were building a life together. We were talking about a future together. We had a ring and a venue and all of the things. So it really isn't that easy, and it really takes a lot of strength to do it. So yeah, give him that strength. And to the men in my comments, and it's only been men who say, well, I want to hear his side. Please go ask him. Go find him and ask him, because the only response that I ever got when I asked why was that he just didn't love me anymore. He didn't want to be with me anymore. He felt like we were just friends. All of the things that I said in that first video, that's the only answer I ever got from him. So if you think that you and you at your big age can go and figure out what his reason was, go get his side of the story. I would love to hear it. In that same breath, there were a lot of things that followed after our breakup that I think hopefully will help inspire more people to kind of survive in this situation, and people who are going through it. A few of the things that happened in the days following were honestly, in retrospect, kind of funny. Like, my dad took me fishing because he thought that fishing would heal my soul. Not gonna lie, kind of did. He was on something there. But I went fishing and I went out and I did these things that I didn't normally do, right? I went out and I had these experiences, and I'm so blessed to have a support system who decided to keep their flights and still fly into New York and keep their hotel rooms and decide to come and be with me in this time. And I'm so blessed to have a family who pulled together and pulled up next to me and really stood strong with me and helped me navigate the situation and helped me navigate all of the feelings that I was going through in this planning stage that I went into to try and figure out my life. There's just so much to it, and I'm super blessed to have those people in my life. And it was really hard, but having all of those people around me made it 1,000 times easier. And some other things that I left out of my last video, his friends were hitting on me 2 days after he left. People who were in our wedding party were hitting on me 2 days later, which someone called out in the comments, and I totally forgot about it, but it is really kind of funny. In the moment, it was not funny, but now it's like, oh, but those are still your friends, right? And then in the same breath, someone also reminded me last night to make the point that I deserve to be with somebody who does not leave me in bars and at parties because he's just done being there. That used to happen all the time, where we would go to a party or we'd go out for someone's birthday, and at like 9 o'clock, he would just leave and be like, you can find your own ride home. And one of his friends or our mutual friends would end up taking me home, or I would call an Uber hours later, which is like crazy. That is wild behavior. Also, I am using notes this time because I did forget. Lots of people have asked about my party as well. The party was amazing. Like I said, everybody came in from New York came into New York and kind of just celebrated with us. I have pictures and videos from it. Maybe I'll post them. Everybody there was there for me and there to support me, and I'm so grateful for that. That night made not being alone on my what would have been wedding night so much better. And it just made me feel so supported and so loved. And so the same way that all of your guys' comments have just been this outpour of love and support, I'm super grateful for all of that, and to all the people who have also reached out to me in my own life after I decided to finally tell this story, because it's been 4 months and I haven't spoken about this, and I haven't been able to cohesively pull my thoughts together. And so being able to share this with everybody is not only therapeutic, but I'm hoping also helping so many other people, both women and men, who might be going through this. My comments are overloaded with just so many similar stories, which is very concerning, but also really makes me feel like I'm not alone. So I'm so grateful to everybody who's supported me. And quite frankly, he did do me a favor. I'm sure there's more things I'm forgetting even with my notes, but I really will just keep trying to respond to comments and continue to bring light to all of this and provide clarity where I can. So again, thank you guys. And I did dodge a bullet. I really, really did. And I'm grateful that this happened now and not in 10 years.
You did dodge a bullet. You was able to work on yourself and be a better you. Like I said, affirmations every day. Talk like positive about yourself every day. Just work on you, the best person you could be. And then when you finally get into a relationship, don't allow yourself to be overwhelmed or over exert yourself into someone else's life. Like, you have your life and they have theirs. I know you're supposed to, when you get married, you're supposed to be one person. Like, you know, you're supposed to become one, but separately, you're still separate. You're not supposed to just like give up on yourself when you become in a relationship. Like, when you get into a relationship, you're still supposed to work on yourself at the same time. Guys, I have a little cold. It's mommy. But what do y'all think about this video? You know what to do. This is Life with Shauna Renee. Comment below. More videos are on the way. Like, comment, subscribe. Bye.